Alright guys, so yesterday had a pretty good day. Let me shut that door. Cruised the car around with my dad. Definitely had a blast. Car's running good. It's temperatures are good, oil pressure's solid. Throttle response pretty good. It's a little off. And then kind of revving through, getting up to like 3,500, 4,000, it just feels kind of breathless, like, I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's pulling the way it should. So this morning, woke up early, got this thing fired up, and bumped up the fuel pressure. I'm probably just a tad below 60-ish. I was probably around 54 yesterday, so I bumped it up just under 60 and took it for a ride, and just massive difference. So I don't know, I've seen a lot of people say that the adjustable fuel pressure regulator is a waste of money, and I completely disagree with that. I think the other issue is this car really needs bigger injectors. It's probably going to need 24s, but for now it seems to be, it's getting the job done. And I mean, this car, I'm not going to go crazy trying to make it the most powerful thing on the planet, but I think it'll probably have better drivability with 24s too, so eventually we'll be doing that. So today, got my brother here. He's gonna take this beast for a ride, and we'll get his reaction to it. All right. There you go. Go ahead and fire it up. See how well it starts with the higher pressure. It's probably going to stumble. drive this car because I'm so used to driving the white car, and then you're with that 273 gear, you're standing on that clutch all the time. Just getting moving is like a total battle, and this thing just goes. So yeah, be careful with the mid throttle corner. What did you say? It's obedient?
It's like right fucking there.
Yeah. It's still not as crispy as the white car. That thing is, I don't know what the hell I did to that car, but that thing is on point most of the time.
Yeah.
With that gear, you got to be really careful in the corners and how you feed in throttle. I think that's why a lot of these cars crash. Because like with that 273 gear, you're in first gear all the way through the corner.
Yeah.
And with this gear, a lot of people will shift second. And even if you don't shift second, if you're holding first out, you're so high in the RPM band, you're making a lot more power.
Yeah.
So depending on how you lean into that throttle, you might lose traction in the back, and that's when the ass end swings around. And then a lot of times, you've got your hand on the shifter when that happens, so you're trying to get your hand back on the wheel to counter steer. Now that fuel pressure tweak really
Made a big difference.
yeah. This thing really came alive. I think with the drop springs, it's got pretty decent handling. Like it could probably use sway bars, but I mean, considering it doesn't really have suspension mods besides the springs, it actually handles pretty well.
it makes the car, don't it? I mean, it just has such a beastly bellow. It's, man.
That's crazy in first gear because it doesn't even fall. I mean, it just lets it go.
Yeah.
Usually, like, you know, first gear is just kind of get going.
Yeah.
It's like it just lets me power right out of first gear. I feel like chirping the tires in first gear.
Wow. Let me get a shot of you pulling in. Under the center, under the wheel.
Definitely get used to driving that.
Yeah. It's on the left side. You gotta kind of pull it to the left a little bit. Here, this thing's.
Be interesting to drive this one and the white car kind of back to back to just feel the differences.
Yeah. Well, that'd be cool to do. Like, that'd be a great comparison for the gears too. It's at 273. You're in first so much. Like, you use first and second gear. Like, it's rare to even get into third with that.
Yeah. Man, I'm glad this thing came together. There's a certain point where you're looking at all these freaking parts on the table and it's like,
Yeah,
if I got
good.
myself
Like, do we
into-
know where all this stuff goes? Because yeah, I know there were a couple times I was working on this when I first picked it up, and I literally had to like pop the hood on the white car to like check stuff. I'm like, where does this go? Like, why do I not know this?
You got the X pipe on this?
No, this is an H pipe.
Okay. Yeah, no, it sounds fucking great though.
Yeah.
Especially like going past traffic on the other side and getting
Yeah.
the fucking reflection.
Blast on you, yeah.
It's definitely a good day for a fucking cruise.
Yeah. How about that shift handle too?
Yeah, that's definitely badass. Takes some getting used to, but it's like, especially pulling in the second just feels good, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks goofy, like it sits up so high, but like, I don't know, it's awesome for driving though.
Yeah, well,
Like, I could see someone walking up to it and being like, that looks stupid. But, I don't know. I think it actually makes it fun to drive.
I don't know, it gives it more of that Mad Max kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Like one of those little things that just kind of sets it apart.
Mm-hmm. No, and then like sitting at the stoplights, it's just sits there and idles.
Yeah, it's very drivable too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like that much of a handful. I mean, even when it gets squirrely on me, turning on the International, it's like whenever you get off it and it goes right back to where it needs to be, you know?
Yeah.
The fucking Bears Mustang, I don't know if it's from being inexperienced, but like, I got squirrely going in the second, pulling out of the subdivision with his car. He
Yeah.
got fucking sideways.
I had trouble driving that car.
Yeah.
And I had how many years of driving a Mustang under my belt at that time. But that's the same thing. That car had a gear in it. And I'm telling you, like, people will hit second and they'll lay into the throttle. And you're not even halfway, like, you haven't even hit the apex of the turn yet. And if you feed in too much throttle, you're going to lose the ass end. It's going to, I mean, that's how people spin the car out. Because I remember driving that car with Bear, and like, there were a couple times like he scared the crap out of me because he just jammed second and started laying into it. I was like, oh my god. I'm actually surprised nobody like spun that car out when he had it.
Yeah, that thing was pretty crazy. Did you already wash and wax it or what?
Nah, I just wiped it off with that that new McGuire stuff I got. It's not new, but it's like it's like the Pro Line version of their wash and wax spray. So it comes in like a gallon and you dilute it out. But yeah, that stuff looks pretty decent. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, I don't want to blast water all over this thing. Then the other thing, like when you wash it, a bunch of water gets in the hood. And then you like hear it sloshing around in there forever. Plus you have to like put a baggie on that. I remember the first time I washed it, I was like, oh, I should probably put a bag on that ram air induction area. And I'm glad I did, because a ton of water got in there. And I was laughing because like I kind of tried to avoid, you know, blasting water into the scoops. And somehow it still just got in there. Alright guys, well, I kind of babied it yesterday. My brother definitely finishing the break-in on this thing. So, I think my next move is going to be a synthetic oil change. Get that oil swapped out and should be good to cruise. Well, good job. Apparently we did something right putting that bottom end together.
I'm glad I could help.